Welcome back to Factorio, Newb to Megabase. In this episode, we'll start by diving into the world of production science, a major milestone in our journey to building a megabase. Production science is no joke. It demands rails, electric furnaces, and productivity modules, pushing us to upgrade our infrastructure and think bigger than ever before. Let's see how far we can get. Right now, we're producing red circuits, but the rate is pretty slow. We'll need to address that soon. For now, let's focus on getting productivity modules up and running. I want to start a trickle of production science coming in, and these modules will be the key to making that happen. Speaking of progress, bus maintenance has never been easier now that we've got construction robots on the job. They're making upgrades and organisation a breeze. Lastly, we need to tackle electric furnaces. I'm setting up 5 assemblers to produce them. Hopefully that'll be enough to meet our growing demands. Okay, we're now producing half a red belt of green circuits, 15 per second. Let's see how that goes for now. Red circuits could do with an upgrade. Perfect, we're now using 15 plastic and green circuits, half a red belt each, to produce our red circuits. Plastic is looking a bit scarce. Let's increase that. Where's our petroleum? Okay, we have too much light oil. I've set up a signal from the pump to my storage. If the storage is greater than 20,000 light oil, it will pass through and convert into petroleum. We can do something similar for heavy oil and turn it into light oil. The light oil is slowly going down, so that's good for now. Expanded production science to handle 1.5 per second, but it needs half a red belt of rails. Let's expand the rails. Okay, that was easy, good. Wait, what on earth happened to our copper plates? Definitely a copper ore issue. Time to get the train running. I copied my iron ore setup and used it for copper ore. Looking good. Time to set up the base for this. We evenly distribute it off the train, and I've created a layout for the electric furnaces for the future. 36 on each side should be able to handle a blue belt of copper ore coming in and output a blue belt of copper plates. Okay, here's our new setup. It's hard to saturate a belt with steel at the moment. Okay, so we had a blackout. I guess this is a common occurrence. As the electric miners for my coal ran low, the boilers got less coal until there was no more. For now, I've done a hot fix and am using solid fuel from light oil to power just the coal mine. In the meantime, I'm going to transition to solar power. Blue chips weren't that difficult to make. I really appreciate having sulfuric acid on the bus. I should be able to upgrade my armor soon as well. Alrighty, utility science is done. Now, let's work on trying to get space science. The copper situation is still looking pretty dire, and we're not producing enough light density structures. Let's investigate. The 2 input belts for copper don't look too bad, but I think we need to add a third. Wait, actually, upon closer inspection of the electric furnaces, I realised I was missing some inserters. No wonder I wasn't getting a full belt output. With 72 electric furnaces, we should be able to output 45 copper plates per second, which is a full blue belt. Okay, let's try unloading from the other side of the train and see if that helps. Wow, that was fast. Alright, let's set up another electric furnace stack for copper. Perfect fit. Now, let's check the copper outpost to make sure it's running efficiently. Looks like a massive portion of the solar farm isn't connected. Fixing this should help with our energy needs. And this. Okay, let's get this sorted. There we go, electricity production is looking much better now. Concrete is now set up, which is essential for a lot of space related builds. I placed it at the start of the base to avoid dragging iron ore down the bus, but now I have to drag concrete all the way down. Oh well, trade-offs, right? The rocket silo is almost complete. It's a resource heavy build, but we won't need many of them for now. I've linked up light density structures, blue chips and some rocket fuel. Everything should be ready soon. Okay, we've got our first space platform. Now we need to get it ready for space science production. Space science is now being made, but we're struggling with ice. I might need to find a way to get more ice soon. Alright, let's prioritise logistic chests first. Now, it's time to set up roboports. I've connected roboports across the top of the bus and set up a logistic mall on the right hand side. This will help deliver fuel to trains and make it easier to manage resources. With blue belts now easy to produce, we'll be upgrading everything from red to blue soon. I've been neglecting green circuits for a bit too long. Time to increase the throughput. Let's aim for 2 belts coming in and see if our raw resources can keep up. With this setup we can produce just under 45 green circuits per second, but it requires 67.5 copper plates per second. So we'll need to bring in 2 blue belts of copper. Speed 2 modules will slowly drip in as my mall produces them. Next up, blue chips. I've used a similar design to the green circuits. I really like how the belts go under the assemblers. It saves a lot of horizontal space, and the vertical space isn't really an issue here. Red chips are severely lacking. Let's see if we can come up with a compact design for them. Okay, it's not the most compact setup, but it should give us a decent amount for now. I've also tried putting in productivity modules, which should give us more bang for our buck. Wait, how the hell did this copper ore get here? Just needed to update the solar grid. We've got a decent amount of power to keep us going for a while. I've also left parts of the grid for the bots to keep chipping away at while I'm gone. I know we've talked about copper a lot this episode, but I think I've finally solved the issue, at least for the foreseeable future. I realised my copper ore train outpost wasn't keeping up with demand. I had 2 options. Link another copper outpost directly to the main base, which could make things a little cramped, or connect it to my first copper ore outpost and set up a buffer. I went with the second option. This way, I can keep my initial setup intact and only need to connect a train to the outpost. And for future proofing, I attached another copper ore outpost to the one feeding the buffer outpost. It's like a chain within a train. I don't know, but it works. I've also set up a large buffer of rocket silos. This should make expansion on Vulcanus much smoother, as I'll have high throughput for transporting items up to the spaceship. Uranium mining is now up and running. The main reason for this is I believe uranium ammo will be incredibly effective against the Shai-Hulud, those pesky sandworms on Vulcanus. Better to be prepared. Okay, what is this? Why are green circuits in my red belts? And again, green circuits are not where they belong. This is getting frustrating. Let's fix this mess. Steel production is looking horrendous. Let's see what we can do. Speed modules helped a bit, but I'm not sure if that's the best choice. Should I just build another furnace stack and use productivity modules instead? I'm still debating. Okay, I've set up rare productivity modules in the labs and uncommon productivity modules in the science production. I've also added them to blue chip production since it's relatively resource intensive. Let's upgrade the quality production for solar panels. They'll work great on our ships and on Vulcanus, so it's worth the investment. Alright, on to our first ship. Again, we're not going for maximum efficiency here, just something easy to build. Though, 5,000 space platforms might be overkill. Oh well, I guess this is why we have a massive buffer of low density structures, blue chips and rocket fuel. Steel is still annoying me, so let's just set up a double thermostat with level 2 speed modules. There, that looks much better. So, the ship took longer than I thought to make, but here's what I've got. 50 rear solar panels and accumulators. Solar panels are especially effective in space. A sushi belt system for asteroid collectors. The decider combinators take the input from the red signal, which is set to read belt contents and hold. This means it reads the entire belt. We set the condition that if the red signal for metallic asteroid chunks is less than 70, it sends an output on the green wire. This is linked to the inserter and asteroid collector, with filters enabled. When we achieve saturation of 70 or more, the signals turn off, and the collector stops gathering that particular asteroid. I've linked this system all the way up to the right hand side of the ship. Next, we set up core production for each asteroid type. Inserters pull each type of asteroid off the belt, which is then crushed. At the bottom, ice is transformed into water and delivered to the thruster fuel and oxidizer chemical plants. In the middle, metallic asteroids are turned into iron ore, which goes into thruster oxidizer and ammo production. A few furnace smelters turn iron ore into steel, which is then used to produce yellow ammo. This ammo is placed on a belt behind the gun turrets and walls for the ship's main defense. Carbonic asteroid chunks are turned into carbon, which goes directly into thruster fuel production. I've also set up 8 tanks for each resource to create a nice buffer. So, what should we bring to Vulcanus? Let's start a shopping list. Instead of listing it out, you can just look at my inventory here. It should be more than enough to get started on Vulcanus. I've also brought some rocket silos and cargo landing pads with me. This should help speed up bringing science back from Vulcanus. Emptying my inventory in preparation for space travel. I suppose travelling at 56 km per hour to another planet is going to take a while, but at least it's a comfortable ride. Okay, nice. We made it safely to Vulcanus. This ends the episode. I'll see you guys in episode 3, where we'll start producing Vulcanus science. Remember to like and subscribe if you've made it this far. It really helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.